Hey there, I'm glad you're here. Ready to learn some pretty cool things? Let me know which ones you liked best in the comments afterward. Okay, let's do this. If you have a furry best friend, he or she might understand more of what you're saying than you think. Dogs can understand a significant number of words. Research suggests that the average dog can learn around 165 commonly used words, and particularly intelligent breeds, like Border Collies, German Shepherds, and Poodles, can learn even more with dedicated training. They also rely heavily on tone of voice and body language to understand your intentions. At any rate, maybe this'll give you more reason to pause with what you'll say next. Ah, love. It can be blinding, certainly. To a certain point in time, at least. Love can make you overlook flaws and weaknesses in your partner, especially during the early stages of a relationship when the honeymoon phase is in full effect. Can you relate? Studies have shown that the neural processes responsible for critical assessment of others can shut down when we are in love, supporting the notion that love is blind. This perception highlights the powerful and sometimes irrational nature of love and its ability to transcend imperfections. O'Connell, O'Brien, O'Grady, O'Hara. O. What's with the O's in all these Irish surnames anyway? The prefix comes from the Old Irish word O, or the Gaelic O, both meaning a descendant. Therefore, a name like O'Reilly indicates that the individual is a descendant of someone named Riley or Rickallick. This system was initially used to distinguish individuals and later became a way to identify membership in a particular family. Conversely, the Mac or Mick prefixes in Irish names, like MacDonald or McCarthy, mean son of. Gotta love the Irish. All right, moving on. Know any quirky Mexican food foodies that like chipotle peppers, but not jalapenos? Well, you can break it to them that all chipotles start as jalapenos. Surprised? Chipotle peppers are basically smoke-dried jalapenos. The familiar green jalapeno you see in the grocery store is simply an unripened fruit. If left on the vine, the jalapeno will ripen and turn red. When the ripe jalapenos are smoked over fire, they dry and shrivel up, becoming chipotles. You see? It's a true and spicy story, and you'd be surprised how few people know it. All right, put your mathematical thinking caps on. Did you know that percentages are reversible? They're kind of like magic mirrors. Imagine you have 20% of 50, that's 10. Flip the mirror, and 50% of 20 is also 10. Why does this work? Because percentages are just fancy fractions. When you calculate 20% of 50, you're finding 0.20 times 50. Reversing it, 50% of 20 is 0.50 times 20. Both give you 10. This works because of the commutative property of multiplication, where changing the order of numbers doesn't affect the result. It's sort of like having a reversible jacket, stylish and functional, no matter which way you wear it. Are you a nature lover? Meet the manchineel tree. Its fruit looks tempting, but take a bite and you'll regret it. Even standing beneath it during rain could burn your skin. And the smoke from its smoldering wood? Well, that can cause eye irritation or temporary blindness. Sound like fun? My point is, the manchineel is widely considered one of the deadliest plants in the world, and it's best to steer clear of it if you're in its native habitats like Florida, the Caribbean, or South America. And just so you know, most trees are marked with warning signs, so you've got that going for you. Have you ever heard of heterochromia? It's a unique condition that causes two different colored eyes, or different colored parts within the same eye. It can either be harmlessly given genetically from birth, or it can also develop later in life due to certain medical conditions, injuries, or medications. Interestingly, the condition is fairly uncommon in humans, affecting roughly 1% of the global population, and is much more common in certain animal breeds. Christmas trees. We've all seen them, and maybe they're a part of your own Christmas tradition. But when did this tradition start? The practice of decorating evergreen trees for Christmas can be traced back to Germany in the 16th century, when Christians began bringing trees into their homes. Maybe something you didn't know is these early Christmas trees were often referred to as paradise trees and were decorated with apples, wafers, and other sweets, symbolizing the Garden of Eden and the Christian feast of Adam and Eve on December 24th. How about that? Are you alone? If not, take a good look at the person nearby you. You know, you're both not nearly as different as you might think. Really? That's because more than 99% of human DNA is shared, with only around 0.1% variation making each person unique. This means that we are all vastly more similar to one another than different. And who said science wasn't interesting? Who doesn't love a nicely warmed-up potato or some form of them? Couch potatoes excluded. Maybe then it's not too surprising to say that potatoes are the third most important food crop in the world, after rice and wheat. An estimated 3 billion people eat them regularly worldwide and are a crucial staple food, particularly in developing countries, where they're a vital source of nutrition and livelihood. If that wasn't enough, there are over 4,000 different varieties of potatoes, which can be blue, pink, red, brown, or yellow. There are two distinct species of African elephants, the savanna elephant and the forest elephant. Savanna or bush elephants found in sub-Saharan Africa are larger and have tusks that curve outwards. The forest elephants that live further north in wooded regions are smaller in size by comparison and have straighter, downward-pointing tusks. Both species are unfortunately listed as endangered by the International Union for Conservation of Nature. Surveys estimate that approximately 415,000 African elephants are remaining as of 2025. With its immense size and diverse geography, Asia takes first place for the world's widest range of climates, encompassing everything from Arctic regions to tropical rainforests. More specifically, Asia stretches from the equator to the Arctic Circle, encompassing a broad range of latitudes, which is a major driver of climate variation, including high humidity in the southern regions, heavy seasonal rainfall, and even cold, frigid winters in the north. I'm curious now, did you know any of those, or have any comments or questions? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you on the next one.